Hello guys and welcome back to Sorare Capital. Today we're going to be going through budgeted options for the Premier League. So let's get into it. Okay, and up first we have Rico Henry. I've chosen this guy because Brentford are playing really well at the moment. They have obviously drawn against Tottenham at home, but then won 3-0 away the other day against Fulham, where he has played really well, got an assist in his first game and got some decent AA. Considering, I think he's just a good player all round. Fast, quick, left back, left wing back, gets up the field, attacks very well, crosses well, can get those assists and decisive. So that's why I've gone him. Staying in Brentford, I've gone for Ben Mee, who is actually currently injured at the moment, but he's meant to be back as of next week or the weekend coming. At just under £5 for him, I think it's a bit of a steal, to be honest with you. You see from his scores even from last season, he was getting some nice dark greens in the 60s, 70s, 80s area. As I said, injured at the moment, but he is a focal point in that defence of Brentford. And Brentford don't leak many goals these days and didn't last year. And Ben Mee was a big part of that. So coupling him up with him and Rico Henry, then could be a good little defensive stack to go. We then head over to Fulham with Andreas Pereira. We're going to be playing Arsenal next, as you can see here, from the 26th. I believe he had a knock at the start of the season, that's why he's been in and out. But I believe he's fully fit now. He played 68 minutes last game, but obviously lost to Brentford, who are doing quite well. So they do have Arsenal, Man City next, so this could be one to buy and to hold. I wouldn't necessarily play them against them, but then on that they got Luton and Palace. Chelsea at home, which they could easily do, and then Sheffield United at home as well. Did really well last season, or quite decent last season. Had some nice greens in there. If you had him in your FPL last season, you know he can get a goal and he can get an assist. So that is the reason why I've chosen it, and just for over £4 could be worth a shout. Now, my next pick is in Everton for Dan Juma. £7.68 currently his floor price as of recording. Yet to be properly integrated into the squad. Obviously they've only just bought him this season, but as you can see here, he was subbed on in his last appearance for 52 minutes. Not sure if he done any well. He did get a shot on target against a strong Aston Villa defence. He's currently 50-50 to play at the moment, again, but it's because I think he's just slowly being integrated into the squad. But for what we know he can do back at his time with Villarreal, not so much Tottenham, but with Villarreal, as you can see here, he was getting lovely scores here, all in dark greens, up in there in the 90s, 80s. So hopefully he can replicate even half of that form in the 60s, 70s. Would be brilliant for Everton. They need it. I've heard Damari Gray, I think, is going to Saudi Arabia, so that's even more of a reason for Dan Juma to be integrated into the squad. And at home to Wolves, he could do really well. Away to Sheffield, obviously Arsenal's a hard game, and Brentford, but then again at home to Luton and Bournemouth, could be perfect timing to pick him up. We then head over to Burnley, and I've chosen this specific player because I watched City versus Burnley in the first game week of the season. Foster caught my eye, as well as a couple of others, but I've chosen Foster for the sake of the forward, how cheap he is. £3.38, pretty much guaranteed starter. Home to Villa, home to Tottenham. I believe they can actually outplay those guys. I don't know if anyone saw, but when they were playing City, they were causing City to make a couple of mistakes at the back. So they could do that with any other mediocre to lower team. Not saying Villa or Spurs are, but they are definitely can be shaky from the back, especially Spurs. And then Nottingham next, and United as well. So they got a good run of games. And you see here, last season with Westerlo, he had done really well. A good, sharp goal scorer, slowly being integrated into the squad. Looks like he's in the starting 11 now. Says here he's played as a left mid there. I thought he was more of a striker, but could have well been left mid. But he's a good quality striker, someone who has abundance of fitness. You're going to have to in that Burnley team. But I feel he can be really good for them, so there we go. Doucouré. Okay, now I've chosen Doucouré. Again, Everton again. I've chosen him because I do feel with Sean Dyche at the helm, they're going to be a bit more defensively solid. I wouldn't say good, but better than last season at least. I think they'll lose 1-2 nils maybe rather than the 3-4-5s last season. Home to Wolves, away for Sheffield, like I said before, for Danjuma. At the back end of the season, you can see here, got really good scores in the 60s, 70s. When he plays well and Everton play well, he plays well. And he is quite a good player when they play better than they usually do. But that's my reason for his pick. £2.99 could be good for your semi-pro teams for when they have a favourable fixture. So for £2.99, I believe he is could be a good pickup. I'd use him probably in a semi-pro or maybe a pro, depending on what your other lineup is and other players you have available to you. But if you have to do it in the semi-pro, then I would use him in a more favourable fixture. For example, home to Wolves, away to Sheffield United, home to Luton or Bournemouth. I wouldn't use him for any other bigger sides, but a game where he can control, and I believe he can do that for the lower teams. So that's my pick at £2.99, L15 at 50, and there we go. I've chosen Benrahma from West Ham. Good silky player with good skills on him as well, knows how to beat a man. Problem is, West Ham do have a hard lineup, and it is Brighton, Luton, Man City, Liverpool. So Luton, I would probably use them there. Sheffield United, I'll probably use them there. They do have some hard games, so maybe waiting a couple of weeks to pick someone like this up, so he goes to maybe £5-6 can be a good buy for him. But yeah, currently at £8, L15 at 49. There we go. We then head over to London with Fulham. £7.68 for Harry Wilson. Again, have Arsenal and City, but then at home to Luton. As you can see here, in the back end of last season, was getting those decisives in greens, so getting his assists, goals, won a penalty. So he is quite an attacking flair player. But Arsenal, Man City, again, I'd stay away from them. Luton, Palace, Chelsea could well do it. So again, him with the likes of Andreas Pereira could be again a nice little stack for anybody looking for a game week that is favourable for Fulham. Okay, I didn't really realise this when before recording, but I'm not an Everton fan. I am a Man United fan, but I've chosen Tarkowski because he is a solid pickup from what they had last season. He, as you can see here, all throughout last season, was getting some solid green scores, some solid scores all round in the 40s, 50s, and can hit up to 78 and 90 mark. This season, again, they've lost 2, but again, decent AA with a 13.82. Didn't play the game, best game at the start of the season, but that is the start of the season. People are just getting used to the intensity of the Premier League again. But again, with Wolves, Sheffield, he can do really well. He can dictate the game, he can dictate the flow of the game, and passing into the midfield and just keeping defensively solid like a rock. I think he can be a big pickup at £5.47. As you can see here, from when he was actually starting to pick up some games, starting from the £5.66 mark, which is very similar to where he is now, he came up and was about at £10-11 mark, so doubling in price. Again, do your own research, guys. He can get injured at any time. He may not replicate the form as of old, but even at 30 years old, he's not aging. He's not pinnacle, but he's not going to retire in a year. He's still going to be playing for Everton probably for the next year or two. And again, as I said, again at Wolves, home at Wolves, got the 3 players right there for you. Decore, Tarkowski, Danjuma. Anyway, my final pick is going to be Philip Billing from Bournemouth. This guy actually helped me win the other day. My draft was against Jack P. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Just click on the channel, have a look, and I'll try and put it in the description. But other than that, he helped me here. Where was it? Right here. Got me a clearance off the line. But all-round solid player. It was always going to be hard for them to win against Liverpool away from home, although they were 1-0 up at the time. But when Bournemouth play well, he is focal point for Bournemouth to hit the ground running and actually play well. Again, I feel like they can play well against Tottenham. Away from Brentford would be difficult. At home to Chelsea, who knows? But he's a good solid pickup for somebody who can get you those. If you use them for semi-pro and you've got all your amateur players playing really well, and you need your captain or your limited card to get you in those 70s, 80s mark, and hope for some for some good luck. This is one of those players that you can pray and help to push you up the leaderboard. As I said, I like this player in real life. He's a good player, but good coup for Bournemouth. 27 years old, £6.77 currently. Worth a go, but completely up to you guys. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see on screen, we are running another giveaway for the Draft Wars. I won, of course, so we're giving away for this channel against Jack P. Again, check that if you haven't seen it, guys. He's giving away the limited Munyan, yeah, potato. So he is giving that away. Again, as you can see, guys, follow us, both of us, like and retweet and subscribe to the channel. And when we get to 200 subscribers, as you can see here, we are giving away either a limited Estupinian or a rare Adam Smith to one very lucky winner. So make sure to go follow that. Make sure to look at our Twitter, follow our Twitter, subscribe down below, and thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.